Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Let's dig in. Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
On one of the funny tapes my dad had when I was growing up, the speaker, an older gentleman himself, said, "I love old people, I really do." And I found that to be true in my life as well. I enjoy attending the senior adult luncheons at church because they're all some of my favorite people. In fact, most of my closest friends are significantly older than me. But as I find the number of years dwindling until I will be able to claim the title of senior adult, I'm wondering what it is that I like about older people. Why do I like to hang out with them? And what kind of old person do I want to become? After all, though the proverb says, "The silver head is a crown of glory, found in the way of righteousness," it is not necessarily true that all senior adults are wise, just more experienced. One thing I love about senior adults is their experiences. They grew up in a completely different time period than I did. I love to hear about it. They experienced history. My great aunt told me of the night that she heard about the attack on Pearl Harbor and how she knew a knock would come to the door and take her military husband off to war. A friend once told me about being shipped off to the Korean War and then coming home, reluctantly attending church with his mother and meeting his future wife that evening. My grandmother told me stories of living through the Depression in the mountains of Kentucky long after the Depression was over elsewhere. My father-in-law has shared the excitement of living on an aircraft carrier during the Vietnam War. Another friend told of being arrested during the civil rights movement in Montgomery, Alabama. My mother shared everyday memories of living with 10 siblings, sulfur-smelling well water, and crazy chickens that wanted to kill you as you made your way to the outhouse. You never know what kind of story you'll get when you ask a few probing questions. It's way better than a history book. Another thing I love to hear about in an older Christian's life is how they've seen God's faithfulness. After all, as God promised the Israelites, He promised His children, "Even to your old age, I am He, and even to your gray hairs I will carry you. I have made you, and I will carry and deliver you." I love to hear all the connections that God has made throughout their lives to get them to where He wanted them to be, and how God is still working in their lives. After all, He who began a good work in you will be able to complete it. And as the old children's song says, He's still working on me. I love to hang out with older people who are still growing and working for the Lord. Like the psalmist says, "O God, you have taught me from my youth. To this day I declare your wondrous works. Now also when I'm old and gray-headed, O God, do not forsake me until I declare your strength to this generation, your power to everyone who is to come." I love hanging around people who are still actively telling others what God has done. One of my oldest friends will pause every once in a while and say, "God is good, isn't He?" So that's what kind of old person I want to become. One who sees God's goodness and faithfulness and tells others about Him. Psalm 92 says, "Those who are planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of our God. They shall still bear fruit in old age. They shall be fresh and flourishing." That's what I want to be, fresh and flourishing, no matter how many years I live. Are you fresh and flourishing? Have you told anyone today how good God is? Who can you tell?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes at our website, which you can find in the description below. Thanks for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.